Assalamu alaikum everyone. I hope you all are doing great today. Before we get started with today's Python lesson, I want to ask you for a small favor. If you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel and hit the bell icon so you never miss an update. If you find this lesson helpful, don't forget to like the video and share it with your friends or anyone who wants to learn coding. Your support really motivates me to create more content for you. Now let's look at the screen. Today we are talking about two very powerful but simple features: Python comments and escape sequences. As the slide says, these are two essential tools to make your Python code cleaner and much more readable. Why is this important? Because code is read more often than it is written. Whether you are working alone or in a professional team, you need a way to explain your logic and format your output. Comments allow you to write notes for yourself and your team that the computer ignores, while escape sequences give you control over special characters inside your text, like moving to a new line or adding a tab space. In this lecture, we will see exactly how to master both to write code like a professional. Let's dive into the details. What are comments? Before we dive into the technical details, if you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel and hit the like button. Sharing this video with your fellow students or friends helps us grow this community and keep these lessons coming. Take a look at the slide on your screen. Put simply, a comment is a note written inside your code to explain what it does. Think of it as a guide for anyone reading your script. There are two main points to understand here. For humans, comments are specifically for you and your teammates. When you look at your code after 6 months, these notes will remind you why you wrote a particular logic. Ignored by Python. This is the most important part from a technical perspective. The Python interpreter completely skips these lines. They don't take any processing time and they don't change how your program behaves. In the illustration, you see someone taking notes while working. That is exactly what commenting is: documenting your thought process directly where the action happens, without interfering with the machine's instructions. Now that we know what they are, let's see how to actually write them in Python. Moving forward, let's talk about how to actually write a comment in Python. For single-line comments, we use the hash symbol, also known as the # or hashtag. If you're enjoying this step-by-step breakdown, please subscribe to the channel and give this video a like. Also, share it with your friends so they can learn these basics too. As you can see on the slide, you simply use the hashtag symbol to start a comment. The rule is simple: everything that comes after the hash symbol on that same line is ignored by Python. Let's look at the two ways you can use it as shown in the examples here. At the start, you can put the hash symbol at the very beginning of a line. This makes the entire line a comment, which is great for giving a general heading or explanation for the code below it. At the end, you can also place a comment at the end of a line of code. This is called an inline comment. As you see in the example print, "Hello world," hashtag this explains what this line does. The code runs normally, but the note at the end stays there just for you to read. It's a very flexible tool. Use it at the start to describe a block of code, or at the end to explain a specific line. Just remember, once you type that hashtag, Python stops reading that line. Next, we will look at how to handle comments that need more than just one line. Print and comments. In this session, we are moving from theory to practice using our code editor. As the video starts, you can see me typing the most fundamental function in Python, the print function. Notice how the editor provides a drop-down menu of suggestions as I type. This is a great feature that helps prevent spelling mistakes. Inside the parentheses, I'm adding the word "hello" wrapped in double quotes. In Python, any text inside quotes is treated as a string. Once the code is ready, I navigate to the top right and click the Run button. If you look at the terminal at the bottom of the screen, you will see that Python has successfully executed our command and displayed the word "hello" exactly as instructed. Now let's practice what we learned about keeping our code readable. I'm going to add a space and then use the hash symbol to write a comment. I am typing hashtag. This is simple one-line comment. Even though this text is visible in our editor, it is completely invisible to the Python interpreter. It exists only for us to understand the code's purpose. To verify this, I'll add a second print statement, print, single-line comment. When we run the script again, you can see both outputs in the terminal, proving that the comment line was skipped while the print functions worked perfectly. Sometimes, a single line isn't enough to explain complex logic, and you need to write longer explanations. Interestingly, Python does not have a specific symbol for multi-line comments, but there are two common ways to handle this. Before we explain these two options, please take a moment to subscribe to the channel and hit that like button. If you're finding these Python tips useful, Share this video with your friends so they can learn along with you. Now, let's look at the two options on the screen. Option 1, multiple hash symbols. The most common way is simply using a hash symbol, hashtag symbol, at the start of every new line. This is the standard practice for adding notes that span across several lines. Option 2, triple quotes. Another method is using triple quotes. While these are technically called docstrings, they are often used to comment out large blocks of text. As you can see in the example, anything written between the triple quotes is treated as a multi-line note. Both methods are great for explaining complex functions or detailed logic within your code. Use multiple hashes for standard notes and triple quotes when you have a very large block of text to explain. Now let's see on the screen how to apply what we have learned into code. First, I am writing the print function. You can see that the Python editor is automatically showing options, which makes coding easier. We write hello inside the brackets within double quotes. In Python, text is always written in quotes. When I click the Run button on the top right side, you can see hello in the terminal below. This means our first program is running perfectly. Now we come to comments. I am using the hashtag symbol on a new line and writing hashtag. This is simple one-line comment. When we run it again, you will see that there is no change in the terminal output. Python has completely ignored this line because it is only for our understanding. After this, we write another print statement, print, single-line comment. Upon running this, single-line comment is also visible in the terminal along with hello. But notice the comment we wrote is still not in the output because it is not part of the code. Now for a very important thing, indentation. Look, when I give a little space, meaning an indent, at the beginning of the comment line, Python starts showing an error. When I run it, an indentation error appears in the terminal. This means that keeping track of formatting in Python is very important, even if you are just writing a comment. Finally, we look at multi-line comments. As we discussed, you can either put a hashtag at the start of every line, or you can use triple quotes. I'm writing a long note here inside triple quotes. Python will ignore this as well. This method is useful when you have to write something in great detail about the code. Keeping these small things in mind while learning Python will make you a better programmer. Now that we know how to write comments, let's talk about the why. Why should we even bother writing them? There are 3 very good reasons for this. Explain the why. First, comments help you explain the logic behind your code. It's not just about what the code does, but why you chose a specific way to do it. This is helpful for you and anyone else reading your work later. Temporarily disable code. Second, comments are great for testing. If a piece of code is causing an error, you can comment it out to temporarily disable it. This way, Python won't run that specific line, but you don't have to delete it either. Help your team. Finally, if you are working on a project with others, comments make it much easier for your teammates to understand and work with your code. It keeps everyone on the same page. Moving on to part 2, what are escape sequences? Sometimes, when you are writing a string in Python, you need to include special characters that are difficult to type directly, like moving text to a new line or adding a tab space. To do this, we use an escape sequence. It always starts with a backslash symbol, followed by a specific letter. This simple combination acts as a signal, telling Python to insert a special character right into your string. Now that we understand what escape sequences are, let's look at the ones you will use most often in Python. This table shows the sequence, its function, and a clear example. First, we have \n, which moves your text to a new line. As you can see in the example, writing hello \n world will print world on a second line. Next is \t, which adds a tab space, perfect for aligning your output neatly. If you actually need to print a backslash, you use a double \\\\. Similarly, if you want to include a single quote or a double quote inside a string that is already wrapped in those same quotes, you use \/ or \/ to prevent Python from getting confused. Finally, there is \b, which acts as a backspace and deletes the character right before it. Each of these sequences gives you precise control over how your text looks. Now, let's see the real power of escape sequences by combining them. On the left, we have a single line of code using both \n and \t together. As you can see on the right, this creates a perfectly formatted list in the output. By using \n to jump to a new line and \t to add an indent, we can organize our data cleanly without writing multiple print statements. It's a great way to keep your code efficient and your output professional. To wrap things up, here is a quick reference of the examples we just covered. Remember \n breaks your text into two lines, \t adds consistent spacing or tabs between your items, and / with quotes allows you to print quote marks directly inside your string. Alright, let's head over to the screen and see how these escape sequences actually work. First, let's test \n, which is used to create a new line. I'm typing print, hello \n world. Now, as soon as I click the run button, look at the terminal. Hello is on top and world has moved to the line below. Python performed a line break the moment it saw the \n. Tab space \t. Now let's add some spacing. Suppose we want a gap between a name and its value. Here \t will add a space equivalent to 1 tab. Let's run this, and look at that, a perfect professional gap has appeared between Python and code. This is much better than adding manual spaces. / and quotes, \. Now for a slightly tricky part. If I want to display a / in my code, I have to use a double \, print, c, \/ users. When I run this, you only see a single \ in the output. Similarly, if I want to write, it's Python, I need to place a \ before the single quote so that Python doesn't get confused about where the string ends. You can see on the screen that it is printing perfectly. Alright everyone, in today's session, we've mastered 2 essential tools that make your code look truly professional: comments and escape sequences. Let's do a quick recap of everything we've covered. First, let's talk about comments. When you need to write a quick note for yourself or others, use the hashtag symbol for a short comment. However, if your explanation is longer or spans multiple lines, triple quotes are the way to go. Remember, this part of your file is completely ignored by Python. It's there strictly for humans to read. Next, we explored escape sequences, which are used to give your output a specific look. \n stands for new line and pushes your text to the next line, while \t stands for tab and adds a clean, consistent gap. Using these together ensures your terminal output is organized and easy to read. Message: these 2 tools, comments and escape sequences, will help you write code that is much easier to read, debug, and share with others. Make sure to practice these frequently. Now, let's run the code one last time and see what you've learned. If this class helped clear up your concepts, please like the video and don't forget to subscribe to the channel so you never miss a lesson. Share this with your fellow learners, and I'll see you in the next lecture.